Okay, so for the next part of Tuesday's work, we had a bunch of addition and subtraction problems, and we needed to fill in the blank. So I'm going to go through each of these, and hopefully this will help this part of the work make a little more sense. So some of them are going to be pretty simple, and some of them will have to do a little more thinking, but the goal is that we can solve all of these problems just using our brain, not using fingers, not using paper. We want to be able to solve these in our head. And another way we say that is solve these mentally. So I have 72 plus 10 more. So I'm thinking I only have 10 more. So I'm adding 110 to 72. So if 7 is in my tens place and I'm adding one more 10, this 7 is just going to become an 8. And I end up with 82 because I'm not adding any ones. I'm just adding 110. So this 110 goes to my 7 and I end up at 82. And very similar in the next one, I have 73 minus 10. So I'm taking 110 away. So this one I added 110. On this problem, I'm going to take 110 away. So I had 7 tens to start, and I'm taking one away. So I have 60, or 6 tens, which equals 60. And my 3 doesn't change because I didn't take away any ones. So 63. Next, I have blank plus 10 equals 174. So I'm missing a part, or I'm missing an addend. When you're missing an addend, what do? Subtract, subtract, subtract. So I'm thinking, if I have to subtract 174 minus 10, I'm taking away a 10. So I have 110, and I'm taking it away from my tens place in the sum. So this is a 7, and I'm taking 1 away from that. So I know my tens place will be a 6. My ones place isn't changing, and my hundreds place isn't changing. So I have 164 plus 10 equals 174. Moving over here, I have 83 plus 100. 83 plus 100. I have a tens place and a ones place. And then I'm just adding 100. So currently, I have 0 hundreds. So if I add 100, 0 hundreds plus 100s is just 100. And there's no tens or ones, so the 83 just stays the same. So 83 plus 100, 183. Moving on, I have 182 minus 100. So don't get tricked by the problems that the blank spot is at the beginning of the problem. Sometimes that's going to happen, but we need to remember that as mathematicians, something that small isn't going to throw us off. All right, so 182 minus 100. I'm taking 100 away from my whole. If I look at 182, I have 100, and I'm taking 100 away. So I'm left with 0 hundreds and 8 tens and 2 ones. 182 minus 100 is 82. All right, this one is where it gets a little more tricky. We're missing the whole, or the sum. So the sum, if I'm missing the sum, what do? Addition, addition, addition. All right, so I need to do 100 plus 81. And that's going to give me 181. And I can check that one because this is a tricky one. 181 minus 100 is 81 because I'm taking 100 away. Sometimes you can work backwards. So in this one I worked backwards because I know in a subtraction problem, the second number is a part and the answer is a part. And together they equal the whole. All right? moving on to 65 plus 40. Alright, so looking at my ones place, I have 5 plus 0. There's no carrying, so I'm just going to put a 5. 6 plus 4, I know that's 10, so I'm just going to write 10. And I know 65 plus 40 is 105. Next, I have 166 minus 40. Alright, so let's see. What is 166 minus 40? I'm taking away 0, 1, so my 6 is going to stay the same. I'm taking away 4 tens from my 6 tens, so 6 minus 4 is 2 tens. And I'm not taking away any hundreds, so 126 equals 166 minus 40. Moving on, 127 plus blank equals 167. My 7 stayed the same, so I know I'm adding 0 ones, but my tens place goes up to 6, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm adding 4 tens, and the hundreds place stays the same. Moving on to the last row, we're just going to add in our head. So starting in the ones place, 5 plus 2, 7. 8 plus 4, 12. 85 plus 42, 127. Next we have 186 minus 41. 6 minus 1 is 5. 8 minus 4 is 4. 100 minus no hundreds is 100. And last I have 189 minus 47.